power of second chance. This isn't perfection. This isn't a preaching. This is actually permission for you to understand, to take responsibility, to be introspective inside yourself, and to take a look, and to learn to pace yourself, and to learn that moderation is what will help you thrive. Power of second chance.
Hello, young lady. It's time to get going.
All right, I'm ready.
It's time to tell you, baby, it's time. You are my bread and love, baby, you are.
This is Cash Talks.
It's time to tell you, baby, it's time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cash Talks. As a matter of fact, the Cash Talks experience. All right, this month, it's all about Black History Month, and we are bringing in the guests this month. Cash Talks is all about the experience, like real life experiences, journeys, overcoming. And my special guest today, Mr. Mark Anthony, with his book, The Power of a Second Chance. And I know after reading this book, Mark, this really did something to me because it's so powerful, So thank you so much for being on the show today. Everybody give it up for my guy, Mr. Mark Anthony. Right?
And thank you, Rachel. Thank you. I'm really glad to be here, man. This conversation is really matters to me because the power of second chance, it really ain't theoretical. This is something I've really lived. A lot of times when authors or experts speak, they're speaking from theory, speaking from a hands-on experience. And the power of second chance is something that everyone must begin to encompass.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your book, The Power of a Second Chance. Tell us a little bit about it and how you got started with writing this awesome book.
Well, a lot of times when people think second chance, they usually thinking about fixing a mistake. But for me, it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
A second chance is what happens after survival, after the diagnosis, after the loss, after the failure. It's the moment that you realize you got to come back.
Yeah.
And mine was laying there in the hospital bed in complete fear and almost in shambles. My book came out of that dark space, that fear, fighting that fear, and fighting it in solitude.
Yeah.
So that's why this book was necessary, not just for me, but for people in loss, for people losing jobs, for people in divorce, for any kind of separation type situation. And what people are going to do, they're going to be able to hear my situation and learn that we all can have hope through any type of failure.
Yeah. I love that you said that. So I have a question for you, of course. So what was the exact moment that you realized life changed forever?
I want to say that car accident. That was my initial fear when the car struck me, because I was in like a regular like cool state on my way home, and when I got struck by the car and was spinning in my truck, that was the first hit right there.
Yeah.
But the impact of the heart failure and the open heart surgery, the biggest impact when my life changed was that morning, the morning of the surgery. I'll be honest, I went through a bunch of ups and downs leading up until the surgery, from the heart attacks, from the accident. But it was that moment, getting that morning when they're saying, when you see all those silver objects on the table, and you realize all those utensils about to get used on you, it do something different to you.
Yeah.
When you actually can see, it's like and I hate to compare it to that, but like people with the death sentence, how they're able to sit in that chamber and witness themselves going into, about to leave.
Yeah.
I had to sit there in kind of a similar state and realize, like, hey, my body is gonna be shut down. My prayers, like when I started praying, when I started crying, God came over me, flushed, strong. I ain't a real religious person, but the spirit moved. The spirit moved so strong on me at the time that it was amazing. He relieved all my fears in that moment, even in my tears, because I cried a puddle that morning.
I'm sure you did. I mean, like I said, reading the book, it was very powerful you overcoming such a, long, first of all, long surgery, but the type of surgery that you had, right? When did you decide, I'm sorry, that you weren't going to let the tragedy define you?
At my weakest point, when I realized, when I did finally gain consciousness and I realized I couldn't talk, when I realized I couldn't walk, and I began to ask God at that moment, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
You've prepared, you've put me through the test. Now what do you want me to do with this? I know this is the end of my story, me being weak, me not being able to speak. God gave me a voice to speak for myself and others and my children. I couldn't talk. I couldn't form words at the time. I couldn't even cognitively form the thought to even be able to speak because it was tubes and everything. But that fear of not being able to walk, not being able to talk, and be able to function again and perform as a man, that moment. That was the moment.
Yeah. So telling the audience, you went through open heart surgery, so you went through a major surgery. So what emotions were the hardest to process during that time?
I got to be honest. It was the loneliness.
Yeah.
Yep, the loneliness. The loneliness. I had to transpose loneliness into solitude. That way, I was able to internalize the messages and to hear God's voice, to hear the message, the words of these books
Yeah.
that I put in the power of second chance. Because this is a testimony. This is a testimony.
Yeah.
This is a guide. I announce it and push it and talk about it in a marketing standpoint that it's a book. But this right here, this for everybody.
Yes.
This for when you in any mode you in, any second chance that you feel like you need to take, because we have that every chance we get is a second chance. We wake up the next day, it's a second chance.
Right?
You know
I
what I'm
love that
saying?
you saying that. Yeah.
And oftentimes we go through a lot of different things in our life, from job titles, job changes. I work in a municipal position where anytime you get a change in position, you have to be on probation. So every time you upgrade, it's still another second chance.
Definitely.
And that's what I'm learning.
Yeah, I read this book and that's why I told you, like, it really did something for me as well. And so I appreciate it too. So you said in your book that reaching out for help wasn't a sign of weakness, right? It was a sign of strength. I love that you said that because a lot of people are so afraid to reach out to people, to ask for help, and all of those types of things. Tell me about that.
I'm glad you asked that. What I hope people hear today isn't perfection. That's not what this is about. That's not what the power of second chance about. It's actually about permission. It's power of second chance is about permission. The permission from your own heart. Whether you facing a heart health ailment, or you just facing it, just need more courage in your own life and your own endeavors. That's what the power of second chance. That's what this is. Give you a permission to know that there's somebody else out there that done faced the same thing that I done faced. Even myself. I recently met a young lady who had been dealing with heart failure since she was a child. That moved me in so many ways. Like, wait a minute, I thought I was something as a grown man dealing with it. Wait a minute, you dealt with the same heart surgery, the same pain as a kid. That's why it allowed me to understand that pace and moderation is everything.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. And I know, with saying that, you also said seeking professional help was harder to seek.
It was.
So, and I love that part because it is harder to seek. Why do we think that that's harder?
Because again, we get taught by society. Excuse me, can I get the napkin right quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can. There you go. You're going to give me some tears. you know what I'm
It was right there. I had to stop. I'm doing my best here.
No, it's okay.
But no, seriously, the fear and the things that we go through when we're in our darkest moments, that bring out the biggest challenge in you. Your intestinal fortitude, your will, and reaching back. And especially like myself, being a father, knowing that I have especially two sons that have to grow and have to use this as a guide as well. So I have to be here and I have to be strong for them as well.
Yeah. I love that. So that brings me to my next point about you saying in your book about determination. Talk about determination.
Yes, determination. That's been like a focal point of my life. My dealing with a lot of childhood trauma and losing my both of my parents. I lost my father to heart problems as well. Lost my mother to gun violence, unfortunately. But dealing with that tragedy set me up to where I know I have a lot more to provide for my children. I have to provide much more, a stronger foundation. I have to be able to be leaned on by them even more, especially my boys, and being a role model for them so they can be better than us. Because we always want our kids to understand the things that we've been through, but to know that they're better than us. They're a better version than us.
I love that you said that. What did the experience teach you about yourself that you didn't know before?
Good question.
Yes.
It taught me a lot about my strength, but more about the resiliency that I didn't know I encompassed at the time. I knew I could get through some things, but getting through my chest being open in physical form, and just getting over the fear of actually seeing a saw, the cut, seeing those instruments, it do something different to you. So once you make it through something like that, combined with the things that I'd already been through in life, it just gave me a different level of hope, different level of fuel. No, I got a mission now. I really got a mission. A lot of times we seek in our mission. God put my mission right here in my own chest.
Yeah, I love that. Talk about some things you went through, like your support system. Like we really need like support when you're going through those types of things. You need people. You need people to be there for you. Talk to me about the support that you received at that time.
Very minimal at the time. I don't have a large family, so I ain't have a bunch of aunts and uncles and brothers and cousins, at the hospital showing a lot of sympathy. It was my children mainly, mainly my kids. Big shout out to my aunt Sabrina. She was a main focal point. I give her entire credit. I gave her a credit even in the forward of my book because she was instrumental being she became like a mother figure for me during this time because I was in complete fear. I spent the week telling the surgeons no, and in tears every time they came in and asked me like, "You ready, Mister?" No, I ain't ready to get my chest cut open. That's who can be ready for something.
Right? Who would be exactly?
When you think you've had some tough decisions, that's the decision when somebody asks you, "Can I come open your chest up to keep you alive?"
Yeah.
And that's what I had to make the powerful decision that I want to live and complete and more pain and give in that tragedy, or did I want to live in progress and prosperity?
Yeah. Yeah. So like I told you, I read this book. So I read a lot of things that were very, tough to read as far, especially when you talked about, going home, being home by yourself, right?
Yep.
That was like a hard part.
It was one of the darkest moments. And big shout out to, when I say support system, even though minimal, the minimal people, they played a huge part. I have to give a huge shout out to Ebony J,
Shout out Ebony.
Sonny, my cousin Tina, my brother Richard, even my landlord. My landlord even kind of witnessed at the time, and I think it was more
Oh.
sympathy, but he kicked in. That's how I got my infrared machine in the home. Most people don't have those. You have to wait to therapy to get that, but I had a in-house red light therapy machine that helped tremendously speed up the process of my healing.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to paint no picture like it was, again, no perfect picture.
Right.
Dark. I had to climb myself out of a lot of moments. I stayed in a downstairs apartment, so I literally had to climb myself out on a daily basis. So it was a lot. Those dark moments help solidify and help build my intestinal fortitude even more.
Yeah. I mean, it gave you strength too. I mean, look at you now. And then you wrote this amazing book. What can you tell the listeners right now about overcoming?
That I wrote something for the listeners that about the power of second chance. And our deepest fear isn't that we're weak; it's actually we're powerful beyond measure. And that's exactly why second chances scare us, because second chance means we no longer get to hide, we no longer get to blame the past, we don't get to point at the trauma, we don't get to point at heartbreak, we We don't get to point at addiction. A second chance means the truth is standing right in front of us. And it survived for a reason. Now what you gonna do with it, Mark Anthony? Now what you gonna do with it, prospective listener in the audience? Failure didn't break you. It didn't erase you. It qualified you. So that's what a second chance does. It ain't about pretending that the first chapter didn't hurt us. It hurt. It was dark. It was painful. But it's about using that hurt as proof that you can endure and rise. And that's what y'all seeing. And that's what your viewers and listeners are getting a chance to see here. Not only with the book, I've had several promotions at work since
That's
I've
awesome.
returned back to work.
Congratulations to you.
Yep. And I just realized I ain't go through this just to go through it and just to have a story and just to have a sob story to talk about forever. God brought this so I can be a light for other people as well.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest part. When we acknowledge our own fears, we help others release theirs.
Definitely.
And that's what I was hoping to do really with this book, is to help people. And especially I want to talk about that too, the black man in particular. Being a father of five, black male, it's a stigma on going to the doctor. It's a stigma on acknowledging the things that make us feel weak. It's a stigma on accountability. And that's what this does. The power of second chance forces you to be introspective analysis, if you will, not to get
Yeah.
too nerdy.
No, you're
of
fine.
your own self.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this does. This constantly challenges you on that. I had to use this second chance, this book and these words, they were given directly to me. I leaned on these words and not on my own understanding throughout this process.
That's awesome. All right.
The power of second chance. This isn't perfection. This isn't a preaching. This is actually permission for you to understand, to take responsibility, to be introspective inside yourself and to take a look and to learn to pace yourself and to learn that moderation is what will help you thrive. Thank you. The power of second chance.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Cash Talks Experience. I have been sitting here with my guy, Mark Anthony, and we've been talking about the power of a second chance, and it's been amazing talking to you. I appreciate you being here. Hey, you guys go and like and subscribe to our Facebook page, okay? Go and subscribe to our YouTube, our Instagram. We are everywhere. So Cash Talks, go and follow us, like, subscribe, share the video, because these powerful words, you know, can help someone. And that's the reason why Cash Talks create this experience and give these interviews, so you all can hear the power of a second chance and hear the voices of real life. All right. So what, go ahead, Mark. I'm listening.
No, I would say no. This is real life living. When you embrace your second chance, you give others permission that are watching in the dark to believe again, to try again, to breathe again. So your survival isn't random. Your recovery isn't luck. Stand in it, walk boldly in it. And I want, just like I did with the power of second chance, I want all the listeners here to walk boldly in your second chance, because that's what you got to do.
Absolutely. I love the fact that he said walk boldly, and that's what everybody needs to do every single day of their life. You want to walk boldly, walk in what you are, you know, what you're given, what you're blessed with. Walk in that and continue to do so. Again, welcome to Cash Talks, y'all. Again, let's give it up for Mr. Mark Anthony.
Thank y'all for having me.
I want y'all to go get this book. Go get this book. Where is it at? Tell them where it's at.
On Amazon, you can search on Amazon, The Power of Second Chance. Also, I have my own website, www.markanthonycarter.com. Make sure you log on and grab that book, The Power of Second Chance. And wherever you see me on Facebook, Instagram, or all socials, is Global Mark Podcast. Make sure you pick up this book. It's a lot of stories, a lot of fun content. I make light of a lot of situations, including myself, because we got to have fun with things too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 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 Again, Cash Talks, the Cash Talks Experience. This is my guy, Mr. Mark Anthony. Thank you again so much for coming on the show. You all go like, share, subscribe to all of our platforms that we're on. Thank you for stopping by, Mark. Thank you. Cash Talks is signing out. Let's go.
And go to the doctor, man. Let's go.
Go to the doctor, like he said. Thank you.
Thank y'all for having me. Yes. Yes.